Hey friends, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks, back with another day of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So a couple years ago in my studies, I came across a Christian vlog, and this guy was just talking about how he has come to know and accept Jesus Christ, and it was cool to hear his testimony, just at least from just a different perspective. And he said that for about a month, every single day, he said the same prayer over and over again to help him understand Jesus Christ better. And he said that prayer is actually found in Ephesians chapter 1. And I was not familiar with this prayer at all, and I've never really looked at these verses as a prayer, but I kind of love the way this guy explained this. So you go about to verse 16 or so. The actual prayer itself that he said starts in verse 16. Cease not to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers. Again, here's Paul talking to the Ephesian saints that he absolutely loves. And this gentleman said that the prayer is verses 17, 18, and 19. And really, you can carry it on through the rest of the chapter down to 23. But particularly these verses. Now, if you keep in mind a prayer like this is kind of a cool one. That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints, and what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward, to all of us who believe, according to the workings of his mighty power. Now, as I was going through this, I was trying to think of this as a way a member of the church would handle that. And I was just, this last weekend was General Conference, and if you're anything like me, you listen to General Conference and you loved it, but it all just kind of blends together into one huge talk, and you don't necessarily remember who said what, but you knew that it was absolutely awesome. If you really go back and review General Conference, again, the talk should be available, as you're watching this, should be available very soon, within the next day or so, but you can go back and read these. I know you can go back and watch them, definitely. You can listen to them, take time to go review them, because if you're anything like me, you also kind of have paid attention. There's little distractions here and there, but I want you to utilize these three verses with regards to what you watched in General Conference. Like, for example, which talk gave you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of Jesus Christ? What wisdom and revelation did you gain from this last conference? What opened the eyes of your understanding and helped you be a little bit more enlightened about certain things? What helped you know the hope of not only Jesus Christ's calling, but maybe your own calling as well? Maybe you've got a calling that is one that stretches you a little bit. I know that was talked about in General Conference as well. What are the riches of his glory? What riches of his glory and of his inheritance to the saints? What to you was just worth a lot, was so valuable to you? And then what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe? Meaning, what talk helped you feel really, really empowered? And again, this is going to be different for every single person, and hopefully you get a chance to review over these talks for the next 6 months. That's counsel we've always been given when we watch General Conferences. Don't just watch it. Continue to have that be your study for the next 6 months or so until the next conference. Now, the result that comes in if you do these things is so cool. The knowledge and the power that you get will be, like verse 21, far above all principality and power and might and dominion and every name that is named, not only in this world, but also in that which is to come. And Jesus Christ hath put all things under his feet and gave him to be the head over all things to the church, which is his body, the fullness of him that filleth all in all. I know I came away from General Conference absolutely filled. Now, again, we watch it and we think it's awesome, but it is so easy to go back to what we are used to. One of the things that I always review after every General Conference, it's something called the Parable of the Turkeys. Many of you are familiar with this. It was from an obscure conference talk back in 1990, and it goes like this. It goes, an enterprising turkey gathered the flock together, and following instructions and demonstrations taught them how to fly. All afternoon they enjoyed soaring and flying and the thrill of seeing new vistas. After the meeting was over, all of the turkeys walked home. Now, again, this Christian vlog that I watched, here is a guy who daily is taking time to be able to say this particular prayer. Now, you and I don't have to say that particular prayer, but I think what we do is to have those things on our mind, just like he did. I think having those things on his mind is what helped him grow in his love and his faith in Jesus Christ. But I think as we go back over these General Conference talks and we start asking ourselves these questions like, where did I get wisdom and revelation? What empowered me? And you go back and read these these and review these, you're going to really see yourself growing closer to Jesus Christ. Again, kind of an obscure few verses right here in the way the context was provided, but I think if you and I can take them and apply them to General Conference, in fact, as we go through all of this week of study, you're going to see how General Conference fits in so well. Even in the Come Follow Me, right at the beginning of the lesson, it talks about how, did you see any connections between the messages in General Conference and Paul's epistle to the Ephesians? So again, you're going to see that all through here. If you look for it, you are certainly going to find it, and it's going to bless your life. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks as always for sharing. We're so grateful that you do that. And please, if you haven't already, go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at BOM-BITES.com. Godspeed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.